regardless, DAMWON were in no universe going to run headfirst, even with numbers advantage 5v4, against an Elder Baron SKT. The Braum would have been able to shut every attempt down that DAMWON would have done. And so some lane manipulation errors on the side of SKT this game, but they're still in the driver's seat. And once LeBlanc completes that death cap, the Spectre's cowls, they're not going to matter that much.
No. See what the next item is actually going to be from Canyon as well as we move forward. Was the Banshee's Veil done actually for Nuclear? It actually caught me by surprise because he had the needlessly large rod in his back pocket, decided that it wasn't going to be a death cap though, and the Banshees comes in as the final item. He's got himself a bounty. I mean, this Kai'Sa is relatively strong and pretty safe, given the Zhonya's Banshee damage as well. Rageblade able to be stacked up very effectively and has all of the evolutions available in Kai'Sa's kit. But DAMWON have been unable to find a decisive fight that's actually got them too much in the last 10 minutes or so. And SKT have been able to retain all of the map control that they created earlier. Really interesting compositions out of both of these teams means it's not easy just to go straight up the mid lane as SKT's composition. You know, they don't necessarily have dedicated frontline themselves. The same can be said for DAMWON. So the way that this is played out is largely going to be around building up vision and taking down Barons and Elder Drakes. So 2 minutes until that Elder and a minute and a half until the next Baron.
Well, the Baron will convert immediately into the capture of the Elder, so eyes on the prize for who will end up getting that one. Khan still on this Valor, always in the wrong place. It's actually quite impressive.
Yeah, hanging out.
You know, he's like the, I'm trying to think what it is. I forget what the name of it is. Never mind. What? I was thinking of a Harry Potter animal. It always got lost. Wasn't it an animal?
The animal that was like, I do know the one you're talking about.
You know which one I'm
the
talking
one that
about?
looks a bit like a platypus.
It's always lost.
From the movie?
Yeah.
The Amazing Beasts movie? There's like...
I believe so. Yes!
Yeah, the one that's running around and it's like stealing stuff. Is it a... It's not a Boggart, is it? Because Boggart's, that's the one that...
I have no idea.
It disguises itself as the things that scare you, so it's not one of those.
Also,
I'm sure
Tom
someone
has
will let us know.
Lord Dominic's,
He does.
which I was messaged recently, actually, about Lord Dominic's, and Mortal Reminder. I was actually told that Mortal Reminder is almost always better.
Huh. Why?
But, something to do with the numbers. But, you know what? I'm not free, okay?
That's true.
Freak, he'd have the numbers for you.
He's that guy. He's the
that
numbers
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
That's why I watch both of the patch rundowns, because
See?
you both give me something different.
Oh, Scar stopped, didn't he?
Well, he does the
He does
TFT
TFT
ones.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just me and Freak remaining.
Yeah. As Faker taking a bit of damage here as he dives to try and get a bit of softening onto the DAMWON squad. And now Khan's looking for the back door. They still have that inhibitor down, and DAMWON won't actually be able to stop this. Look at how incredibly fast he is. The Weaver's Wall comes in as Nuclear. He's on the wrong side, has to flash. They're just going to jump onto the Baron and hope for the best because the Clint is looking to win the game. Gigantic ultimate stolen by Clint. He goes golden as well. And this is looking to be all over for DWG Gaming. They're winning a 4v5 team fight, our SKT, whilst Khan wins the game. And that is how we're going to do it. SKT, they win it all in a moment's notice. That game was looking right on the edge until that very end moment where SKT were like, all right, we win.
And that's the type of play that they could have been doing all game long with the Quinn. You utilize her to pull the Renekton off the team, demand that he teleport to a fight, and then rinse, wash, repeat, do the same thing again. Quinn is way too mobile on the map for DAMWON's team composition to really answer, despite having a champion like Talia that can have basically a pseudo-global. And it doesn't matter because in this game, game state reached a point where DAMWON were too vulnerable, too open, and susceptible. And SKT, they eventually closed as DAMWON made a Panic Baron.
Yeah, the Panic Baron where they knew that the game was just going to be over, right? There was no actual chance of getting back there to try and stop the Quinn from just winning the game. I don't think they had enough time without a Baron-empowered recall right at the moment that they saw him moving on over, because he just had way too much damage. We're going to check this out. Look, the Quinn's making her way in.
Yeah, she's already inside of the base, and so at this point, The real mission is just stop the backs. Now, when Clid gets that kind of an ultimate, though, there becomes a real opportunity to just take the team fight because everyone from DAMWON are so clumped up. Blanc Distortion's going to be able to do so much, and even Teddy, I mean, he's playing Duck Hunt right now inside of this Baron pit.
Yeah, Nuggeru did manage to take him down in the end, but it was all about the Quinn not even having to be there, and SKT still winning. A 4 versus 5 team fight. Clid starting up that fight so incredibly nicely, but Faker's LeBlanc was an absolute joy. And thanks for everyone letting us know that it is in fact a Nifflet that we were referring to from Harry Potter, but we couldn't even have that conversation because all of a sudden, SKT decided that the game was over. So 43 minutes though, DAMWON, they kept themselves alive with a few of those heroic team fights. We saw like, I don't know, a few whispers of what DAMWON is capable of against SKT, but now that matchup, it's going to read 9 and 6. And SKT, they're winning the games when they count, right? And this is the thing, this is the problem, is that DAMWON hasn't had this high pressure of a situation and then a victory against SKT afterwards. Oh man, LS, we got a best of 5 on our hands here, and we'll see whether SKT are going to continue the domination or whether DAMWON can fight back after the break.
역대급 결승전을 시작하겠습니다.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LCK Playoffs 2019 Summer. It is round 2. The winner of this will be going to the final next weekend, and SKT already putting their best foot forward. Now moving on to the red side. The blue side victory is super important, and now they get red side, and it could almost be looking down the barrel of a 2-0 before it's even happened.
Are you surprised? I told you. Alex.
You know I have to still pretend, you know?
No,
For the viewers, so that we can tell a story.
You got it right here.
So what I have to deal with? And we're trying to create an exciting broadcast, right? And then you're just sitting there with all the answers in front of you.
You know what one of my favorite things to do is? Someone asks me about a book, I just turn to the last page. I read off the last couple of paragraphs.
And then you can tell them all about what happened in the book. Wow. Well, he's giving his secrets away. Let's see whether SKT and DAMWON are going to give away any new ones here in the draft for game number 2. DAMWON now on our blue side, as the Aatrox is going to continue to get banned. It was Aatrox, Akali, and Xayah on the DAMWON ban side, is now SKT looking for their bans. And the Akali, of course, a red side staple ban, especially between these two squads. And I think the Sylas is going to be a contested one. If it is left available, DAMWON will first pick it. It was a huge factor for SKT in game number 1. But it took a little while to get going, but he was farming his jungle so effectively. And you were talking about the rubber band camps that he was able to pick up, the fact that he was able to navigate that jungle just a little bit better than Canyon was.
Yeah.
And it was a cute little draft for DAMWON with their flex of the Talia back into the jungle as well. Everyone knows that she is strong. In the mid lane also is the Ezreal to be banned here. It wasn't banned in the first round in game number 1, but DAMWON are going to take it off the board this time. Yuumi continues to be a staple ban in the playoffs, only one game. Has she gotten through?
Well, we'll have to see what is going to be the first pick for DAMWON. As the final ban for SKT still yet to be decided, it will end up being the Vladimir.
So they are going to give away the Sylas, in theory, as Xayah is actually going to be the choice. So it was a coin flip between the two. Xayah, of course, banned in game number 1. Now snapped up in game 2, and SKT, what are they going to head towards? This just shows that DAMWON are really putting a lot of priority on giving themselves a bottom lane that Nuclear and Beryl are comfortable.
Yeah, they want to make sure that this time around maybe they have a little bit more autonomy down there in the bottom lane, as the Rakan can easily come in next to accompany the Xayah before the second ban phase, as Sylas is going to be locked in for SKT, still able to be flexed. See what they're going to accompany this with. Now, if you know that you're going up against Xayah or Khan, you can draft around it relatively easy.
Yeah, if you want to. 8 seconds to go now before SKT has made their decision. They can pick away the Rakan if they feel like, or they can set themselves up for the Tahm Kench and the Varus, which is what they've started to do here in theory. Teddy's Varus certainly being his laning choice that he goes towards, and Canyon just going to counterpick himself. Ooh. In that position, Faker now cycling through just about everything here, but the Jace snapped up so fast on DAMWON's side.
Jace and Sejuani both picked up really, really quickly. And so now SKT, they have 10 seconds to decide on something, and it does look like they will just lock in Sir Thomas.
Yep, bit of a no-brainer right there. Certainly has been SKT's go-to bottom lane, and it allows Teddy to play so much more aggressively down there as well. Effort just does what he's told, and devours Teddy when he requires it. And this lane can be very self-sufficient. So look for Clid to be playing a little bit more topside League of Legends this time around, or really trying to put the screws in to the bottom lane of DAMWON. But DAMWON did leave the Rakan on the table, so now can be banned away from SKT. They do so first off. Sorry, I had a peek at your script there just for a second.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it's okay. Well, now DAMWON, it's a little bit difficult to pinch away mid and top, which is why this kind of an opening from SKT on the red side is so nice.
And also
going to the second pick phase.
And also Faker's shown that he's happy to play a unique champion in every single game. So how are you supposed to ban things away? We did, of course, get the heads up that LeBlanc wasn't going to play this game because she was played last game. And SKT are, in fact, not going to allow Showmaker to have a chance to play that champion either. I have a sneaking suspicion that our Showmaker will be the man on the Jace in this game. does have a lot of lane priority from mid. We've seen it cropping up more and more. Of course, Choji being our best LCK example of a dominant Jace player, but around the world who has been rising in popularity in mid lane. Trying to get the best possible counter pick for Noguri has been the way DAMWON's won in the past. It's sort of where my mind is at.
Kiana is still open and available. There it is.
Yeah, this will be the second time that Faker's played her, if it is in fact going to be going over to Faker. Still whispers that she can be played elsewhere, but it's been 100% mid lane Kiana thus far, so our expectation is that Faker is going to be making his first secondary appearance on a champion here in the playoffs.
Well, 5 seconds remaining now for DAMWON, as Braum is going to be the lock-in of choice.
Yeah, trying to find a champion that can go against the Tankens relatively effectively, and Braum has always been that guy. Now where does Beryl decide to lead this composition? Because it's going to be counterpick for Khan on the top side of the map. Or is the intent to win it going to come through? Still a flex pick, still an opportunity for DAMWON to throw these solo lanes wherever they feel comfortable. We'll see. The Karma coming out is actually just really funny, because we saw Sandbox try and do this against SKT, and SKT made it look like a 4v5. There you go.
I gotta
They were taking
a little bit.
Yeah, they were taking a little bit too long, and you got a little bit antsy.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking to myself, you know, you need a champion into Karma or Jace. You also need a champion that is short range, durable, and able to fight the brunt of the force and synergize with the comp. And obviously, Rise fits into that really well. So, wasn't really looking at the script.
Oh, you didn't even need to look at the script for that one, damn.
I didn't even need to do it. I just wanted to let you know.
Just did the thinking this time?
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll actually give you some real credit for that particular prediction, and they are going to alleviate some of their damage range issues as far as having too much physical, too much magic. It's what happens when you have a mid laner that is largely physical based. As that crab, the shell, is adorable.
That is really adorable. I wonder if that summons something. Maybe if you play it, you summon something. Sort of like playing the Poke Flute and summoning Snorlax.
Do you summon Snorlax? You wake him
Well,
up,
you wake
dude.
him up. I mean,
You
you
don't
may as well
summon him.
summon him. He is a
It's
god.
like this gigantic Pokemon materializes out of nowhere.
Go, is that in a Moo? That is horrifying.
That's Emumu!
Now I see why he has no friends.
Always just makes me think of Cloud Templar. So does that, but in a more terrifying way. This is the DAMWON team though, and they need to bounce back. This is going to be their biggest test of the series, because they need to show us that not only can they take down an SKT that has side selection in their favor, but also they can take down a squad after having a game one that went so horribly bad for them, especially towards the later stages. They had an honorable job as far as like staying in it as the game was going, as I believe we are going to have a redo on the champion select. Maybe something going wrong just a little bit there, but heard a whisper that perhaps we're going to have to rejig some stuff. Some parents in the audience here. As, here we go. It's Showmaker's mum there in the audience, and you can see mum and dad not necessarily super psyched about how game number one went. What? And Coma Handsome.
I'm not totally getting that message right there. I think they mean the previous jungler, SKT Tom, but
Possibly, but there's also, it's so we're going to start over Big Band because there was an issue with swapping some champions around. This has happened from time to time, guys. We're going to be very quickly through this draft. It's going to be exactly the same. And Faker fly to the finals, as that's some really cool pictures, as you can see just there. Actually going to be fighting. And Faker thinking that he may as well just lock in his champion, because why not? Ooh. That's a champion. He's disabled.
no, he's not.
Well, Ari buff, please. That's why we've got that adorable Ari picture there in the background, as you can see. And of course, with Faker on the rip. Faker's a power. He's one of the most exciting to watch, but that was a very long time ago. Man, this draft is going exactly the same as the Game 2 draft. This is one of the shortest Game 2s of the finals we've ever seen.
Yeah, I
Welcome
mean, this
to
is going to
game
be
3, guys.
You know, I said earlier it was going to be a 3-0, but it was actually 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
So SKT won that game we didn't play?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
By default?
Yes.
And just from just the orgs, just general aura?
There was a vote.
There was a vote.
There was a vote.
Voted on who won
Yes.
the game. Alright, well, we're going to try and swap things around again. I mean, when drafts like... Oh, God. Read more scripts. When drafts are redone because players can't switch champions, I find it really interesting that we then still have to have the champion switched. Like, why not just like go straight
lock
down
in
the
your
line?
champion?
Yeah,
exactly.
And ban like Garen Gangplank and stuff like that. Don't really need to worry too much about what the bans are when we already know exactly what's going to be coming out here. As you can see, we do have the same rosters, the same compositions, and hopefully less of the troubles getting into the game number 2. Good fans there in the background. But has been the linchpin. He has been the dominant force for SKT. Maybe not in game number 1 as much as Faker was, who was able to get that solo kill in the mid lane and make Showmaker irrelevant, and possibly even tilt this team to a point where it can be a real problem. Seal the deal. DAMWON win. We found the lone global DAMWON supporter. Well, hope you're enjoying the show, my friend. As we get to game number 2, it is the Jace on the top side of the map. The Karma is going to be mid lane trying to deal with Faker's Kiana, and Faker is going to be trying to show Showmaker exactly how it's done on that particular pick. He's already got a victory of it on it in the playoffs. See whether he can make it too as we move into game number 2. Some interesting rosters, some different change-ups between these two squads. I feel like SKT going back to that mid-game style composition that they've got, but with some late-game insurance and things like the Rise and the extra range on the Varus. Do like what they have going on here as someone you have to pray for a miracle to stop what has been such an incredibly fast-moving SKT. Let's see whether it can happen in game 2. T1 fans, of course, in full voice. As you can see, it's a lovely evening here at Lowell Park.
Well, it does look like the opening is going to be a 5-point start, relatively defensive play out of both of these teams, no one wanting to risk anything super early on. And talking about the two-team composition, so the Varus and the Rise, accompanied with the Sylas and the Kiana, they can go really late, whereas on the flip side, the Xayah is going to be the really key component that's going to scale much further into the game than anyone else on the side of DAMWON, even though Sejuani is going to get a lot more tanky and durable, and Karma will grow increasingly obnoxious. The way that DWG Gaming is going to conduct themselves in team fights will ultimately devolve down to what can and what can't Nuclear do inside of everything. And interestingly enough, though, Karma has Scorch, which doesn't scale at all. I would have really expected Gathering Storm, and so that's definitely a bit of a blunder on what's happening. So, SKT, if they can make it to the 3-item mark, everything should be smooth sailing for them. DAMWON, their edge is going to come in at 1 item. On 2 item, it's really going to come down to positioning.
We'll see whether they can make that happen. I think DAMWON has also got themselves a little bit more option when it comes to sieging this time around. And just have to see how this game is going to evolve. I think that last game, it was some similar sort of win conditions and scenarios, but SKT ultimately able to win out, despite things going relatively well for Noguri topside. Some whoopsies made by Khan in the earlier stages were mitigated, as that's a big Jace in the middle of your screen. That's what happens when Noguri plays the Jace. We have to really highlight it. And Khan has the minion wave in a pretty fantastic position for him also, so the Rise pretty comfortable. How has this matchup changed since the Rise change? I feel like I ask this question almost every single time we see the new Rise, but Rise versus Jace, how does it go? Who has priority?
The matchup's pretty much the same. The real difference is that Rise doesn't take the Aftershock anymore inside of the matchup. Historically, that allowed the old Rise to actually go toe-to-toe with Jace and be basically a neutralizer for him, but the new Rise taking the phase rush and whatnot, it's not that large of a dynamic change. Rise also fits into this team comp, not necessarily just to go up against the Jace, but how he fits into the 5v5.
And also, how they fit into the global game as well, because they've now got Abyssal Voyage and the Realm Warp. There can be some really fancy transitional plays coming out from SKT this game. So keep your eye out for where these SKT players are going to be maneuvering on the map. It's a cool Jace skin as well, I like that one. Canyon is here. Trying to see whether they can punish Khan's positioning. So far, Khan in a pretty good spot, but we are going to land the Arctic Assault, and that is going to be the first one coming out. Shock Blast also empowered and Khan down to 200 health, and now Flashless on the top side. Nuguri getting, once again, all the attention from him.
Super early on, you would expect that Clid would just probably keep power farming unless he's going to go for a match or a counter gank. Don't really expect too much proactivity out of him, whereas Canyon can definitely be the one that looks for things early on, but Clid's going to come out ahead in terms of the jungle status anyway. He has a complete full clear, he got himself a Scuttle Crab as well. Everything is looking up for him.
And I think at this stage, like, if Clid once again has a fantastic game, that's when we have to ask the drafting question of DAMWON. Like, why leave the Silas available and not pick that one away after the game 1 situation where everything went absolutely wrong? And it was largely based on Clid just having his run of the jungle and control of the map for a large portion of it, let alone being able to win a 4v5 basically off the back of a hijacked supreme display of talent.
Well, let's see what's going to happen here now, as the mobility boots are picked up now for Faker. And so we'll have to see how Khan, as well as Teddy and Effort, manage their lane state so that this can be a worthwhile purchase for Faker in the mid lane.
10 CS behind is the Kiana, but of course that's what we're expecting in a range versus melee matchup. Once again, going to be about that mid game, where the Kiana's going to go, what she can get done. Go back into his own jungle here as well. Checking out jungle CS, it is Clid once again farming way more than what Canyon's been able to do. Maybe getting a flash top though is certainly going to be a worthwhile thing, as Khan has to play a little bit more respectfully despite being extended relatively far at this stage. He does have his jungler in his back pocket, Faker clearing out vision on the top side also.
Oh, this is the timing though. They crashed the cannon wave, but the problem is that Faker, because of that control ward, he's a little bit too slow to move. As looks like he's found the Sejuani. I don't know if he can see those.
I don't think so either, but that's the ult into the wall, and that's first blood all too easily put together by SKT.
Alright, well, Sedge is out of the game now.
Yeah,
So-
at least for how long?
No,
A few seconds?
she's out of the game. No, she's back. Nope, she's really not. Clid's gonna be level 6 really soon, and Canyon's still 4. Now, the one good thing, though, is that Canyon will get 100 bonus experience when he eats the Bramble back, because it's going to be level 6, he's level 4. You know me, I love to talk about level 6.
Yeah, do like it as Clid. Gonna try and dash away here. Noguri bobs him into the wall, but I don't know whether the flash was all that valuable here, but one more auto would have done it, but couldn't actually move forward into Khan in order to lock that one down. And Clid did have to use his flash, but he traded it with the top laner, which is probably still worth it in SKT's side of the map.
It also gave Canyon the ability to come over and eat the Scuttle Crab. Wasn't sure what the level was on the crab, but nonetheless, still getting good rubber banding camps and helping him recover.
What's the level of the crabs? Because I think he's looking for those.
I think the crabs are level 6 too. Right. I would imagine so, as they're respawned during this clip, so.
Nice.
Yeah, they're either 6 or 5.
That was a very, very dead Canyon. Jungle is Showmaker. Able to get himself a turret plate there in the mid lane. SKT with a slight advantage of about 500 gold. Otherwise, nothing to write home about. This bottom side is Teddy and Effort playing out the Varus Kench lane. Exactly how we would expect.
Also, it looks like.
Oh god,
Okay.
A lot of damage there onto Khan, who's actually able to throw some damage back. Has Clid in his back
And
pocket.
Nuguri doesn't have a ward. He's probably going to come down and plant one into the Tri-Brush. Never mind, actually. It does look like Clid.
If
Yeah,
If
they're
he
gonna come up
read
and clear
that
the wave.
recall positioning, he might have actually been able to kill Khan. With an empowered shock blast, but is not able to. Khan, like you were talking about, doesn't have the teleport or the realm walk available. So it's going to be a 12 CS advantage from Nuggery and a bunch of plates as well if Clid is going to vacate. He's not. So a few of those CS that you can see as far as the jungle difference is going to be in minion wave D8 top side. DAMWON going to utilize the positioning of the jungle information they have on SKT to take this Cloud Drake. Unless Faker has something to say about it, Supreme Display of Talent is available, but he's not going to go in 1 versus 4. DAMWON are going to be able to grab the first neutral objective of this map.
It is going to be a Clown Dragon. And so for a team composition that intends to run straight headfirst at the opponent and take them on, it's not the most impactful Drake, but for the Jace, if he is split pushing and then trying to join up with his team if he's lacking teleport, can help out a little bit in that regard. SKT, they're still fine.
Yeah, they're also playing like it's halfway through the first game, you know? They're still playing with that level of confidence here, just stealing everything away. Topside seems to belong to DAMWON Gaming, sorry, to SKT, regardless of where DAMWON are. Faker thinks that he may have found someone yet again. Nuggery with the acceleration gate, looking to try and get out, but Div's gone. Clid throws out the prison. He's going to land it there under Nuggery, but Faker taking so much damage as he dashes back forward. Doesn't quite get the damage out of the ultimate as the Kiana does pick up the chase with the last tick of the Ignite, but it's a 1-for-1 as the Silas goes down, and now Faker in the enemy base is looking to try and get himself executed or out of there. Showmaker comes forward, wants to get an auto attack, wants to get something to deny the execution, but he can't. Too mobile is the Kiana. And that was actually cutely played by Showmaker, and also, yeah, like you say, gets the XP.
He does get the experience, and now meanwhile, down in bottom, Teddy, pretty far up, but Sir Thomas making his way down.
Yeah, you see how much Barrel respects Sir Thomas' rival.
Look at the waddle. An absolute savant.
He is. Utterly.
Yeah.
Wanders into the grass.
So handsome. Majestic, really. Yeah.
He does have that that look of
aura,
poise.
right?
Yeah.
His presence speaks volumes without him having to utter a word.
Yep. Sometimes, attractiveness comes from how you carry yourself, and I think that is exactly what Tom
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, or in the belly.
Unless it's Tom Kench, in which case, beauty is objectively what he has. It's Faker and Clid back into the mid lane, and okay, Showmaker, he's going to walk up a little bit too far there as Clid is going to root him down. Actually, no, going to be rooted there as Canyon turns up, but doesn't really have too much of an opportunity. The Realm Walk to come in, and that's going to get the flash out from Canyon. The flash forward from Faker is going to secure it, waits for his buttons to come back, presses F, and that is going to be that. Beryl now wandering the bottom side jungle, but SKT, they own the top side like they were given 2 sides of the map at the beginning of this game.
Oh, Khan.
Still actually trading relatively well here, not allowing himself to get bullied by Nuggery. He's out of potion charges though. Nuggery's still sitting on one.
Well, Faker with those mobility boots. Now, this is what I was mentioning early on with them. It's going to really matter how the side lanes can set up for him, because otherwise all that he's going to end up doing with the early buy is trying to look to secure constant vision around River. As we take a look at the replay, they come in here onto Showmaker, but the Karma sustain, the shields, as well as the W healing, a little bit too much. But then Faker goes over the wall.
Got EQ'd to death. Very, very swiftly. SKT grouping around Shelly for the moment. Nuggery, acceleration gate there. My god, how did that even happen? As Khan is going to pick up the kill, but all of SKT playing that pick off so well.
Oh, no.
Wow. Sometimes the bouncy castle isn't the right place to be.
I'm so sorry.
Are you okay?
No. Neither is he.
No. No, not at all.
Oh, man. Oh, all right, well.
Bit of a shocker so far. For Nogari. Did a fair bit of help at the beginning of games 1 and 2. Quite able to turn it into anything too positive. Game's still in the very early stages, but a 3,000 gold lead is nothing to scoff at. As we're going to have a look at this once again. Oh, God, that's what I thought it was SKT.
He was playing
well,
Minesweeper.
Instead, yeah.
That's what happened. Yeah,
he did not do the calculations on that particular square. As speaking of calculations, in comes Clid and Faker. And this gank duo is looking to do it so easily. John picks up another one. I don't even know. Did he need the ignite? He used it. I don't know whether he even needed it in that particular scenario. Wave going to be shoved into the mid lane, and the Mountain Drake is now going to be collected from SKT. Rolling pretty high so far this game. They give away a Cloud Drake. Don't care about that one and grab themselves a Mountain, looking to have that extra advantage. And DAMWON, they're going to use this scenario to sit in the brush bottom side and see whether anyone walks down from the river.
Oh, man. I mean, I feel like this is also often a sign when your play or choices in the game ends up devolving to this point.
Yeah.
After losing out so much. I really feel like it's just one of those hallmark signs of desperation that you often sometimes see in teams. Last game we saw it inside of the Panic Baron attempt. Now we're starting to see them set up for things that just make no sense whatsoever. And so they're probably very emotional at this point, and I can't blame them. I mean, they only have one more game after this.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know?
I mean, LS is the leaked script for a reason. Could have waited until at least game 2 to leak it, instead of in our opening words. That's okay. Come to expect this, guys. Know how this one goes. Being said, DAMWON could try and go off script. So far, they've been playing into it relatively effectively. It hasn't been a game where they've got to really play with too much agency. It's all about answering SKT's pressure at this stage. It's going to be another Cloud Drake in 4 minutes' time, so don't look for too much action around there, as Shelly is still on the map. No turret plates available. Still, the ability to push down one of these turrets is going to be pretty important for SKT. We do want to play around a relatively dark map for DAMWON, given Faker's Kiana that he does have available to him.
It looks like they're waiting for Showmaker to maybe walk up inside of the lane. They have vision control on the left-hand side,
So
yeah.
much.
And it's a 4,000 gold lead almost here at 15 minutes. And you would have expected that DAMWON would be the one with the gold lead. The fact that SKT, with the superior scaling team composition, has the advantage. I mean, I don't have to really spell it out for you, but
Yeah.
DAMWON's looking like Dom lost this game.
It's really rough though, because you look down the line at SKT's lanes, and yes, you can see the team composition scales very well, but also they have a lot of lane priority in a lot of areas. Also, I mean, Barristan pinches the lane you're always going to be comfortable in, and with the amount of jungle attention, Faker's turned his lane into a positive one as well. And even Khan been fighting back effectively on the top side. He's 500 gold ahead of Nogari, as Shelly's going to make that even worse for DAMWON. They've been playing around their strengths and their weaknesses exceptionally well on SKT's side. And Clid, this is the gauntlet Clid that we've come to expect. He is so damn good at the moment. And yeah, he got the Silas 2 games in a row. That is probably a blunder for DAMWON. You still need to pilot it effectively. And I think that if DAMWON don't ban the Silas in game 3, something has gone exceptionally wrong. There's the flash forward. Okay, Khan tries to get the E first before the W. That's why it's never all too easy now with this particular version of the Rise to get these picks.
Old
Did you get the flash for flash? Yeah. Now Old Rise just pressed F and W at the same time. You die, basically. Especially here in the LCK, where we had some of the best Rise players. It's a less recent iteration, Faker being one of them. This time around, though, he's playing Assassins. He's played Assassins, I believe this is his 6th time. Sorry, 5th or 6th time on an Assassin in a row. In the playoffs. Been fun to watch as Khan takes a shot blast in the face. It's cleared now 1 versus 2. Probably wants to get out of there as Teddy has no interest in fighting that fight. He just wants to blow down this turret. DAMWON going to return the favor on the top side. They do it a little bit earlier. We'll see whether they can actually utilize that tempo situation, but Showmaker in the mid lane's just trying to claw his way back into this game, so no man advantages for DAMWON around this map.
Another Cloud Dragon coming up in 45 seconds. SKT probably going to just be in position to freely take that one. As Effort just strolling around, he's looking for vision.
Yep. Magnificently as well, I might add.
Look at him.
Just recalling on the ward so that DAMWON can bask in his magnificence as well.
It really is quite holy to witness.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much more pure than this right here.
Oh.
Oh.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
You were captured by it.
I was.
Right?
I was enraptured. Enraptured entirely.
I get it. You know.
Enraptured is a weird word now because of Bioshock.
Okay.
Remember the place was called Rapture?
I don't.
It was real scary.
I don't play any games that aren't League of Legends. Okay. Don't even bring up to me
I only
that
get analysts that don't know what video games are. Harvest Smithy's another one. You know, he's married to League of Legends, and it is very monogamous. Seems to be the same thing. You dabbled in TFT.
Don't even talk to me about it.
That ship sailed pretty fast.
Yeah, it did. It sunk like the Titanic.
DAMWON now find themselves with a decent minion wave moving into this mid lane. Showmaker going to teleport forward as well. Abyssal Voyage going to be the answer as now SKT is looking for their way in. The flash forward as Effort gets in there. Chains of Corruption are going to lock up DAMWON, but they haven't lost anyone yet. And even though 5 members of SKT turn up, they're not able to lock down any sort of kills. Teddy investing flash into that moment as well is big, especially when it's a Varus. Faker now looking for this flanking play. Dustblade is going to pop off, shows him that DAMWON do have vision of that flank, and they just brute force the mid lane, and that is one of the first proactive plays we've seen out of this squad that are playing around their mid-game spike with this composition.
Well, they're still down about 4,000 gold. Karma started off with Luden's Echo, but going to go into Athene's Unholy Grail shortly thereafter. Also, Nuggery with the lethality, he's going to be able to make use of that for quite a while, although Rise now going to be picking up the Frozen Heart next. It does look like.
You heading that way?
I mean, Rise, he presses a lot of buttons.
He does.
He does do that.
So
What is your favorite iteration of Rise?
My favorite iteration was the Moscow 5 Rise.
Is that the Overload with MS?
Yeah, that was the no skill shots. That was the god tier. Yeah. I know you're an Annie player. I knew it.
What? I don't play Annie.
No, you're an Annie advocate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see. Join the church out. You might get gold.
Whoa, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
We basically hand it out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that sounds like a cool church. I haven't been much of a churchgoer in the past, so this will be my first experience, but I'm really looking forward to it.
You can even get diamond.
Do you call it Church of LS?
Church of Anne.
Oh, Church of LS. Okay. I don't know whether I like that as much as the Church of LS. What about the Church of Thomas?
There's no church.
Saint Thomas's church for the good opinions.
The best way to hide it is to pretend that it doesn't exist. We're all secretly followers.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.